Hello everyone, welcome to Valley Talks. My name is Sylwia Gorajek and today I'm super excited to welcome Ondrej Homola, a founder and CEO of LifeLiqe, a visual learning tool. Hello Ondrej, it's such a pleasure to have you here on the show.
Thank you, Sylwia, for having me. Appreciate it.
What's LifeLiqe? What does it do? How does it work?
LifeLiqe is a learning platform allowing users to take 1,000 interactive 3D models and to use them for learning about the sciences. What is super cool about it is that you can have those 3D models for VR devices, for AR devices, you can have it for 3D printers, you can have it for interactive whiteboards. So teachers and students in 15,000 schools around the world are using that, and we are excited to see more and more coming. We started 4 years ago with a company called Corin, which is a sister company to LifeLiqe, and we've been working with teachers all around the world, identifying those difficult topics for the sciences to cover. And now we are proud to have 1,000. Those 1,000 was verified by top universities like Stanford, like US Merced, etc., etc. But now we are, excited to bring another couple thousands more, and we might be, creating tools for teachers as well as create their own, not only us.
And so LifeLiqe is a platform that actually allows to use those models for learning, right? And for VR, and probably were you licensing during those years the use of these models as well? How was it before you had the platform?
That's a great question. So, the LifeLiqe, let's assume that it's like the YouTube. So basically, it's a great place to have everything under one umbrella. And what also LifeLiqe allows is to subscribe to the models, which was not really possible before. So before we have schools around the world which were licensing the models, but that's, for example, not the case for the US education system, where the schools and districts are usually just subscribing to the tools. So
do they need to have any other devices to actually use those models with LifeLiqe, because you mostly support the VR experience, right?
That's a great question, and what we are super proud is that we are bringing the same experience into whatever device they got. So if they are lucky to have those fancy the glasses, or they got just interactive whiteboard, or even they got Windows 7 computer with a projector. So we are deploying the great content across all of those devices.
Are you mostly targeting schools with your product?
That's how we started. We thought that if we wanna, make a difference and impact in education, we need to start with teachers and schools. So with the LifeLiqe, we are starting as well offer product for parents and students. But still, the primary focus is teacher, and to make sure that we are helping teachers to engage students.
These products are mostly biology, right? Chemistry, maybe. It's science, right? So it's for what type of subjects at school?
Well, that's a great question. So it's called a STEM. It's a sciences and technology type of subjects. But we are now adding more and more culture-related content. So, for example, now we are working with Stanford on archaeology reconstruction of, 8,000-year-old house. So we are trying to make sure that from our sweet spot, which used to be science, we are expanding the portfolio outside.
This sounds like a pretty disruptive idea, to bring VR to schools, whereas it's not that popular among consumers yet. And so how do schools react to it, and how are you actually approaching schools so that you would convince them that it's worth to use it? I
mean, the important thing is that the schools are today equipped with a lot of great technologies. They are having their iPads, they are having their computers, they got interactive whiteboards. Not only in countries like United States, as well as in Czech Republic, where we are originally from. And the whole point is that currently those technologies are not really effectively used in a classroom, because there is really missing the content which is taking advantage of those devices. Of course, adoption is usually the most difficult piece in the whole education system, because as we know, the teachers, they are super busy. They have a ton of work, and usually you don't have those type of interactive whiteboard devices at your home. So the teachers don't have so many time to really play around with those technologies. So if you really want to be successful, you need to make sure that it's super simple to use and teachers want to use it.
Yeah, and when you approach schools, how does it look like? Who do you talk to? How long is the process until they actually have this onboarded in the school?
Absolutely. So We are lucky that when we came to Silicon Valley, we met Steve Ballmer, the former CEO of the Microsoft, and then we started to talk to Anthony Salcito, which is VP of Education in Microsoft. And to make long story short, we became the go-to app, the showcase app for Windows 8 in education. And thanks to that, we've been able to talk to thousands and thousands of schools around the world. As well as...
That's how you got the foot in the door.
Absolutely.
Right? With Microsoft,
Absolutely.
Actually. Wow, so were you actually aware that this will be the great approach for you, or did it happen by chance? How did it get started that you actually thought that Microsoft will be a great partner for you and this may work out?
Let me share, what we learned before we came here.
Yeah.
If you are a developer on mobile side, and that was coming back 2010 roughly, all of the companies who've been really making money were the companies who've been able to partner with Apple or Google during the launch of their iOS or Google Play platforms. Because during that time, there is really nobody there, and those, Apple, they need to show how amazing, iOS and iPad and iPhone is. Mm-hmm. So they're looking for great content to basically pitch their devices. So when we came here, we've been trying to look around and trying to understand, how we can basically just make it happen in the Silicon Valley. And then when we had a chance to meet Steve Ballmer, I said, we will just bet everything on this card, because this is our last chance to be part of the big game on mobile. And that's basically how we started with Microsoft.
When was it?
2012, I guess. 2012.
That was even before you had the platform ready yet.
Absolutely.
Right? That was with your 3D models.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. So even the product, we created a platform not because we've been, we thought this is a great idea, and we've been kind of like excited about making platform. The point was that we have around 600 different interactive models, and if you don't have a platform, then you have a product spread it in a lot of different places. And we've been approached by customers in Middle East, in the Gulf area, and they said, we are excited about your product, but we need to make it very easy to be used by students and teachers, not only in a school, but in their homes as well.
So what for Microsoft was important that you allowed your models to be used exclusively on Windows, and with some different applications that were used on Windows? How did it work in practice? That's
a really great question. The whole point is that if you are launching your new platform, you're looking for great content, which is helping people to be really excited about. Mm-hmm. And that's what we did. I mean, we made an app which, was, I guess it was first time where the Microsoft exec was receiving the applause and wows on OpenScene while, demoing our content. And then we realized, look, if we will be really loyal with Microsoft, and we will basically will be just publishing this new content on Windows 8, then the chance that they will like us is even higher, and our chance to do the penetration of the market working together is even higher. So we've been lucky that it worked, and we've been introduced to Dell, to Intel. HP is now bundling us to roughly, I guess, maybe 1 million devices per year as a part of their school pack. So that's the result of this strategy.
And now you also decided to be open for Apple as well.
Well, now we are, we reached a point where we built a critical mass of the product, and we reached a point where we thought, well, now is the time to open us to the world.
What's your business model? You're licensing, or you're selling subscription to your platform? That's how it works?
Absolutely. So if you're a parent or student, you can subscribe to our 1,000 interactive models per $10 per month. Of course, the schools have different prices, and there is different price per district, there is different price per school, there is different model in Asia, there is different model in Central Europe, different model in Latin America, where we are also selling. So.
And you're selling to 15,000 schools
yes.
right now? And how did the idea for LifeLiqe and for your previous company come about? Are you a 3D designer? How did it happen that you actually went into the 3D industry?
So my good friend, he was from the 90s working on those big games. Maybe people know 2K, which is one of the biggest gaming studio in the world. So he was working there, and when we met, I guess it was like 2007, 2008. After a long time, he was showing me, the amazing things he was working on, and I said like, oh my God, this can be like the huge game changer for publishing. And we start to talk, and we've been doing a lot of different pivots. We've been trying, we've been twice between top 5 companies worldwide in architecture visualizations. We've been giving keynote speeches in culture heritage documentation conferences. We've been working on the marketing with Volkswagen Group in Europe, with other companies. But then we learn that interactive 3D is a game changer for learning, and that's why the education and K-12 sciences.
You're coming from Czech.
Yes.
And is this where you started working on this?
Yes, correct. We started, as I said, 2008, 2009, and in a certain moment we realized, being in a small country, it's usually so difficult to kind of like to make the step to be the global leader. We've been receiving a lot of pushback from the people there. People were like, yeah, that's cool, but who cares? Mm-hmm. People been like, yeah, that is like, I saw that like a million times before. It's like, well, actually no, we are probably one of the few companies in the world doing that. I said like, oh, come on. So then when we had a chance to, so the Czech government agency called Czech Invest, it's helping startups to get here. So we've been interviewed and we received some support from them in early 2012. And we thought that's basically our chance to either make it or either to do something else. And we've been so excited to try that, and it's been such a great journey for us.
And you moved to America, and that was also a very interesting moment when you arrived here.
No, that was fun. So I landed in New York, and it was, I guess, 24th of October. And I supposed to leave East Coast and fly here on 28. But exactly, I think 29, it was hurricane. And for us from Central Europe, where we never experienced hurricane before. And when we were watching all of the coverage in media, before this is the end of the world. So
that was exactly when you were there, right?
Absolutely. So it was great experience, and just when everything just back to normal, I just flew here. I think beginning of November 2012.
You had a little delay in a flight.
Yeah, like a week.
Oh, a week.
Yes.
Right. So how did you get started here? You arrived here. Did you know anyone before you arrived here?
As I said, the Czech government, they organized this program for startups. Mm-hmm. So we get some introductions. But usually, what I see, and I need to admit, the companies from Europe coming here, that are usually a bit cocky. So we thought, we are the best of the best, and we know everything. But it was really difficult for us to learn about what are the parts which are so great about what we do, and what are the parts which we have no idea at all. And especially the marketing and business, that was a big learning journey for us.
Your approach is pretty interesting because you didn't really count on investors that much along your company life, right? You tried to be profitable with your business, and that's how you probably sustained the life of the company for the most part.
Look, and I think this is coming back to our mindset. We don't believe in borrowing money from someone. We believe in making money. So we are lucky that we've been generating revenue from day one of the company. Of course, we are lucky that we have angel investor back in Czech Republic who is a great help for us. But I don't really get this mindset of those some kids I'm meeting here, which it's kind of all about the next funding round, just all about evaluation, just all about the relationship with investors. I think it's all about business and serving customers. So that's been also another type of learning curve, trying to understand that there are some things which are so cool about Silicon Valley, there are some things which I'm not buying.
So you're not here for investors?
No, absolutely not. We are here for business. Again, I mean, it would be so hard for us to meet Steve Ballmer in Brno or Prague, Czech Republic.
Of course.
This is really the spot where we can meet all of the hardware partners, and they are usually, very important part of our strategy. As well as this is a place full of know-how about the product. I mean, that's the product management, the marketing, the social medias, everything is here. So I guess every company in tech space, they should have somebody here.
And this is you in your company.
Yeah, well, I am that one who is sacrificed. Yes.
Yeah, so has to sacrifice and it's so painful, right?
No, I'm joking, but still, I mean, it's definitely out of the comfort zone because you are here without your friends. The social environment is different. Mm-hmm. So as well, being here, it means you're working 24/7. There is no weekends because this is not like your family or. Yes, you have some friends, but it's not the same type. Being back in Czech Republic where you have everybody there. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit harsh, I guess.
And then you're the one in charge, so you work on your things here, and probably late in the evening the new day starts in Czech, and that's also something that you need to catch up on, and often be with as much energy as you can, and again talk to them over there.
Yeah, that's fun. So my morning shift starts at 7 a.m. So that's usually the time where I'm still talking again to colleagues in Czech Republic. We have team meetings. Then as of 10, 11, I'm starting doing my the homework, all the things which happen over the night. In the afternoon, I have some time to work on real things, if I may. The afternoon or evening is usually some meetup or some speaking opportunity. And then around 10 o'clock, the Czech Republic is back to work, and I'm slowly starting to talk to them roughly till the midnight.
But still you want to stay here? You don't want to move back?
Absolutely, no. I mean, that's, you feel kind of like on drugs. Mm-hmm. So it's, at the same time, it's really exhausting. But there is also so much energy coming from the market and meeting great people. So I need to admit, the quality of the people and inspiration I'm getting here, it's really amazing. So it's worth it for me.
Coming back to the strategy of your company, so I understand at the beginning it was partnering with Microsoft or just giving them a reason to promote you guys among their networks. And what's your strategy right now? How do you want to approach more schools, and how do you want to make this happen?
That's a great question. Do we have half an hour?
Well, no, you need to do that in 2 minutes.
So absolutely. So we believe into one thing, which is there is so many great devices currently available on the market, and what we also see that there is no really good content, which is really taking advantage of those devices. So we are lucky that we are working with hardware OEMs, and they like us. And again, we are bundled to HP, we are bundled to VR device called Z-Space. And there is, I guess, more to be announced pretty soon. That's basically one thing. And the second thing is, just finding the right channel partners. Because, if you are a small startup with, 35 people, you really have no chance to really approach those customers directly. So finding the right channel partners who can basically serve the needs of the teachers and schools and districts in the best possible way.
VR for schools is a really interesting concept, and I feel like you hit the nail on the head with choosing that industry. How do other industries look like? Because we understand that for just consumer perspective, we don't use this. I don't use VR yet, and we don't use this on our everyday lives. But where else is this really applicable in addition to education that you have observed?
Absolutely. I think that we will see more and more using the AR and VR in productivity. So I believe that once the tools will be there, I think that can be the next way how the people can be, instead of having the one monitor in their office, if you use your glasses, you can have the 6 different monitors. At the same time, it's much easier for you to communicate with your colleagues because everything happens in the one environment.
Yeah, but aren't you getting dizzy then?
The technologies are really getting better. 2 years ago, the technology was really kind of funky. Now, I just installed my HTC Vive in my living room yesterday, and it's really solid. So I was wearing that for like almost an hour, and it felt really okay. But I think that's one possible vertical. Obviously, entertainment is clear, so I think I don't need to go very much into that one. We've been organizing last week the panel about VR and AR in healthcare as well. I think healthcare have huge opportunities using the VR in a lot of different directions.
It would be fun that, let's say, doctors could scan our body the way it is now in a pretty big detail, but that's probably even way further dream, but that they could actually use the VR device and maybe, even go inside our bodies and like check on things, right?
That's scary, isn't it?
Well, I don't know, but if it was to help.
No, absolutely. That's one way, and there is already some methods using the VR for different operations. But what I learned last week during the panel was that the VR can be super important in terms of the rehabilitation, in terms of all of the, I would say the mental diseases. Pardon me that I don't have better expression for that. So that seems to be very powerful.
For like stimulation?
Absolutely. Or just, the stress management. I mean, the phobias. So and there are data proving that this is a very powerful tool.
What's your big dream for LifeLiqe?
Well, it's clear the vision is that 3D should be the major type of digital media in 5 years. In order to get there needs to be a platform that will do the same job for a category like YouTube did for online video 10 years ago. And that's going to be LifeLiqe.
All right, I wish you that, and I keep fingers crossed for your business. And how can we actually find more information about LifeLiqe on the internet right now?
Absolutely, just go for www.lifeliqe.com, and a pleasure, and thank you for having me.